Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Video Marketing Show. My name is Amanda Robinson. I am the Digital Gal, and I want to say hello to you on this beautiful day. I really hope you're doing well. I hope all of those folks that are hanging out in the South right now are faring through the weather. I know it's a little chillier than normal, and it's wreaking havoc for some people. So I would love to hear from you if you are catching this live. Make sure you drop into the comments, say hello. I am tuning in from beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, Canada right now. Yes, we've had a little bit of snow, but nothing like our southern counterparts. So my heart goes out to you right now. And I just want to say I'm really happy that you're making the time to jump in here today and say hello. All right, so welcome to the Video Marketing Show. This is where you're going to learn all the little bits and nips and tricks and everything you need to know about marketing for small business. So, as the Digital Gal, I have been teaching Facebook ads for many years to small business and entrepreneurs, probably much like you. And I teach it with my Facebook Ads 4-week bootcamp program and my Swift Kick in the Ads training. And through that training, I have learned a lot and helped and troubleshooted a ton with small businesses who are running into the same issues over and over. So, what I want to talk about today is I want to show you a video marketing strategy that has been extremely effective for small businesses working on a really small budget. So, before we dive in, we've got some people. Look at all the folks that are showing up here. B, it's great to see you. Hello, it's nice to have you here. And we've got folks from Manitoba here. It's nice to see you. We've got someone else popping in here saying hi. It's good to see you. Yeah, drop in those comments. Let me know that you're here. So on today's show, and we've got someone tuning in from Colombia. Awesome, Henry. It's nice to see you today. And then, all right, I also wanted to make mention that today's show is being brought to you by Restream. So Restream is how I'm multi-streaming right now onto multiple platforms. And if you want to check this out, make sure you head on over to thedigitalgal.com/Restream. And you can see how I'm doing all this cool stuff with all of these lovely overlays, with all the exciting pieces. And the point I want to drive home to you today is that all of this video production, all of this excitement, it looks really cool. It's not actually that hard. I mean, I have to give a huge amount of credit to Restream for making it so easy for all of these functions to make it look amazing. So I really want to highly encourage you, if you are a small business owner and you have not been leveraging video, obviously today we're going to be talking about video marketing, a video marketing strategy for small businesses on a budget. This production is something you could easily do with tools like Restream. So make sure you go check that out. The other thing I'm just going to plug before we dive into the nuts and bolts of this show is I also want to say I like to give things away. I really like to give things away. And this week I am giving away one of these bad boys right here, a Facebook portal. So if you want a shot at winning this portal, then you're going to head on over to the Digital Gal /contest. And that's where you're going to be. That's where you're going to be able to get a chance at winning this lovely thing. I'm giving away lots of lovely things every single week. So give that a shot. Okay. All right. So now that we got all that stuff out of the way, popping back into the comments, seeing who else is popping in here to say hi. And look at everybody popping in. Oh, we've got someone popping in from snowy New Jersey. Hi, Marie. And we've got Broderick over here. It's good to see you. And we've got Grace. Oh, Grace, hi. Ah. Now I'm getting like excited, nervous that Grace is here. That's awesome. And happy. Yeah, love winning. Perfect. Well, good luck trying your chances with that. Thedigitalgal.com/contest. Hang out here with me while we're doing all this. Head over there after. And wow. Ian, it's Ian Anderson Gray. Ian, I was literally just watching your show. I was just watching your show this morning, right before doing this one. Your shows are fabulous. So, folks, if you're watching this and you don't know Ian Anderson Gray, he runs, I think it's the Confident Live show. And Ian teaches us how to do this, what we're doing right now, but do it with confidence and to show you the real behind the scenes of how it all works. And we've got popping in from Charlottesville. Wow, look at guys. I'm so excited to see everybody in here. And we've got Norbert. All right. And the last shout outs here, Daryl. All right. Okay. Let's dive in. Make sure you keep those comments coming. I'll do my best to make sure I'm paying attention. And let's talk about video marketing for small businesses. So we've got three kind of issues that have been developing over time for small businesses who are using Facebook ads to market themselves. So way back in the heyday, you could take 20 bucks, you could throw it on any kind of post on Facebook and boost that post, and you could reach a ton of people, get a ton of results, and it was very exciting. And it was absolutely the lowest cost option that you could use to promote yourself or promote your small business. Well, as Facebook has grown and evolved, bigger business has gotten involved, and the ads network has grown mammothly, and it has become a little more complex and a little more complicated. So if you are a small business and you're just starting out into Facebook ads right now, it's like climbing a giant mountain of knowledge and learning just to get to the midpoint where you can barely compete with some of the big businesses. And that can be a little bit frustrating, especially if you're not quite sure, if you don't have a lot of budget to work with and a lot of bandwidth of time to throw yourself into it, invest yourself into learning everything from how your pixel works to conversion events to all of the behind the scenes inner workings of Facebook ads. It can get a little complex. So that's not what I want to do today. I want to back down the complexity and make it easier for you. And I want to give you a strategy that is a low-cost strategy and a phenomenal way to get yourself started building momentum with your Facebook ads. So those three things, that the challenges that we're running into more currently with small businesses and running advertising, is that number one, like I mentioned, the competition. So it's more expensive if you actually want to make sales from Facebook advertising. Now, I'm not saying that means Facebook ads are more expensive. I'm saying if you are trying to go from zero, a customer not knowing you, to 100 to making a sale, it can get more costly than it ever used to be. And you've got lots of advertisers now competing for that attention span of the same customers you're trying to reach too. So that drives our ad costs up. So ad costs are being driven up. There's lots of different strategies you can be using to acquire that attention span. And it's harder if you're just starting out with Facebook ads to actually know how to keep up with all of the changes on the platform. Trust me, I know. That's why I run my boot camp. Literally, I run the same boot camp every other month, and I run it live because Facebook changes so frequently, and I let people take it for life. Like once you're in, because it changes so frequently that it is hard to keep up. And as a small business owner, I get it. I understand. And you wear too many hats. You don't have all the time in the day to go and relearn everything at all times, but you also probably don't have the budget to be investing into paying for an ads manager. If you're going to be paying somebody to do ads for you, you're probably looking at the realm of starting around $1,000 plus just for the consultant's fees, and then you probably want to be spending at least $500 to $1,000 a month on your ads alone, so that it makes the money you're paying the consultant worth it. So when you have that, you're looking at $2,000, $2,500 to have somebody else run the ads for you. Not everybody has that kind of money to run Facebook ads right now, especially small business. So if you have smaller budgets, and we're talking, say you have 250 a month, 500 a month, say you've been playing around with boosting that post with posting that with the boost button for your Facebook ads, and you've been dropping $25 here, $25 there, and through the course of the month it adds up. Well, when you're working with smaller budgets, you don't necessarily have the ability to go and pay a consultant to do it for you. You also probably don't have a ton of time to go and learn how to do this for you. So that's where this video marketing strategy comes in. Nice. And then we've got Ian here asking, do you know what's happening with the ads and announcement posts? Last week I couldn't boost them. Now I can't. I don't know, actually. I will follow up on that though. Oh, and a big shout out to Steve, who is tuning in. Oh man, Mike Alton's in the house. That means I gotta behave. I'll do my best. All right, so that's the first issue that small businesses are running into. We've got two other little issues that are a little more technical, shall we say? So I'm not gonna dig deep in them. We're just gonna talk about it quick. One technical issue is that lots of businesses need to use the special ad category. There's 4 special ad categories that your business might fall into. If you're in real estate, for example, you fall under the special ad category of housing. And what that means is that you need to check off that special ad category and say, yes, this ad is going to run under this special ad category. What that does is it strips out a lot of your targeting options in the background for doing your ads. and it makes your strategy a lot harder to do targeting and reach the right people, which means if you're doing really broad targeting and you're just putting out money for ads and reaching a ton of people who aren't relevant, you're spending a lot of money on ads and not getting them in front of the right people. That's where this video marketing strategy is going to come in. Now, that same thing applies if you're in any of the other special ad categories. One is employment. So if you're running ads for jobs. One is credit and loans. So if you are selling mortgages. The other is housing. And the fourth is social issues and politics. So if you have a business that involves any of those and you cannot skirt around this special ad category, if you think, oh, I'm selling services talking to realtors, I'm not selling a home, I'm talking to realtors, your language in your ads is going to trigger the AI to flag your ads no matter what. If you're using housing, real estate, listings, sales, that type of language, it's going to flag it anyway. Your ads are going to get rejected. You're going to have to appeal it. From a small business owner perspective, that is a nightmare. Just use the special ad category. Let's get you into a strategy. Let's work around it. So it will be a lot easier on you. And oh, Abby, one champ that I know I can follow with closed eyes is Amanda Robinson. Thanks, Abby. I appreciate that a lot. And then, we're going to talk strategies for sure. And the question here, is this the same category for mortgage brokers? Yes. You either have to use the housing one because it's related to real estate, or in your case, I'd probably do the credit and loans because it is related to loans, money. And all that language is going to trigger it. So it can be a little frustrating. All right, so that's the one technical thing. And if you want to know more on that, I have an entire video training on YouTube. It's a long one. I think it's like an 18-minute one, but it goes into all 4 of those special ad categories in detail with examples and shows you how to get around that. Not get around it, but how to work with it. And that's what we're going to talk about today, as well as rest of small business, how this strategy is going to make a lot of sense for you. The other thing we're going to the other issue this addresses is the updates to Apple's iOS 14 app tracking transparency. A lot of words there, a lot going on. What that really means is Apple is rolling out updates so that apps on your phone, such as Facebook, who are tracking you using that third-party data to track you, such as, hey, you used your Apple iPhone to click on an ad to go to a website that has a Facebook tracking pixel on it, pretty normal, and then you make a purchase. Well, Facebook is tracking you with that information and sending that information back to Facebook so that it informs all of our reporting so that we can understand, did that ad work? Did that ad not work? Can we make it better? Can we reach more people, like the people who are purchasing? Yes, that's what we want. Well, with Apple's new iOS 14 update with the app tracking transparency, we're losing a lot of visibility. Most people are going to opt out and say, no, I don't want to allow Facebook to track me. Most people don't realize that when you click that no and you opt out of tracking, it doesn't mean you're going to see less ads at all. You're going to get the same volume of ads from Facebook. You're just going to be getting less relevant ads because now it's not targeting you based on your preferences because we're losing visibility to you. So business owners, small business owners in particular, are going to get pinched the most with this, in my opinion. We don't really know yet. Facebook is making changes in the back end of their system right now with how we track people and how that's reported. And so we're going to start losing some of that visibility to what's working and what's not. Now, if you're a big business and you have a big budget and you can spend a ton of money to reach people and just experiment with your dollars, then you can figure it out a lot faster. Then like you can figure out, okay, where are we having gaps in our data and information? Where can we fix this? How can we adjust our course and our strategy to make sure we're reaching the right people? If you're spending a lot of money, you're gathering more data faster, you're able to react a lot faster. If you're a small business and you're spending under $500 a month, it takes time and spend. You might be 3 or 4 months into spending and experimenting to really start to identify what is working with your audiences and changing course. So as we start losing visibility with the Apple iOS 14 update, it's going to be harder for us to react more quickly to keep up with the competition. So there's lots of layers of things going on here. That we need to kind of address, and this video marketing strategy does really help with that. And agree, already seeing changes. I know I was trying to build ads last night with Ads Manager. Man, oh man, it was giving me such a hard time. It wasn't give me one moment. Is that a sign that I've been talking too much over the last few days? Ads Manager was giving me such a hard time with glitching out, not letting me actually publish campaigns. I was working for hours trying to get it to work, and I finally gave up. That's normal. It happens. Facebook's going through a lot of fluctuation right now. So let's get into the actual strategy side of what we're talking about here. So let's talk about video ads in particular. Heading on over, I'm gonna pull up some information for you. So the first thing I want to pull up, I want to show you this concept here. All right, so this is not written in stone. This is not this is a hypothetical example of first managing these expectations. So if we are scooting over, if we're trying to get Facebook ads to work for you, most business owners want to go in and have ads that go from, like I said, like zero, they don't know you at all, they've never met you before, to let's make a sale. That costs money. It costs a lot of money to send traffic and eyeballs off of Facebook. It costs less money to keep people on Facebook. And when it comes to advertising and using video ads, video is much less expensive. So with that, we need to talk about managing your expectations. So managing expectations of, are we going to be dumping a ton of money in and trying to get sales? You can, if you have the time, energy, and money to do that. Or perhaps you could be managing those expectations by using Facebook ads to be getting you to do the heavy lifting on making that first impression and getting people to engage with your brand. So to do that, video ads are very effective. So when I'm saying that, when I'm saying it costs more, it costs less to keep people on Facebook, it costs more to send them off of Facebook. When we have a video ad strategy, it's a really fantastic way to hook people's attention, get them to watch 3 seconds or more of that video, get them to watch 10 seconds or more of that video, get them to watch 15 seconds or more of that video. Once somebody has watched any amount of time of that video on Facebook or in any of those ad placements on any of those places that Facebook puts your video, then we can retarget those people with ads. So we can accumulate an audience of people who have watched those videos for that certain amount of time. So let me show you this one right here. So this is an example here of accumulating, growing an audience size, an audience of people to retarget with ads. So by running ads to a cold audience, making that first introduction and having your Facebook ads do the heavy lifting of making that first introduction, getting people more familiar with you, it doesn't cost very much to do. And you're acquiring audiences of people. So for example, in this example here, this is an example of an audience where I've got two different audiences that I've built. The top one is anyone who's watched my videos for 3 seconds or more. And that's an audience size of 21,000. And then below it, it's okay. And an audience of people not just have made it to the 3-second mark, how many have made it to the 10-second mark? And that's an audience of 9,800. So there's very different levels of engagement there. If someone has just seen a video for 3 seconds or more and it cruised across their newsfeed and then they wandered off, that's okay. I mean, I've at least I've made it in front of their newsfeed. That's great, right? I've paid money to be seen by them. Now I've earned the ability to retarget. And then if someone's made it past the 10-second mark, and honest to goodness, keeping somebody's attention span on Facebook for more than 6 seconds, like pat yourself on the back. It's not easy. That is hard. And then once we get into rolling that out, if I show you, for example, let's pull this down here. This is an example of the decay and drop off in attention span. So we have, in this case, this is an example of an ad that ran and had 7,500 impressions. And then if we look at 3-second plays, 10-second plays, a through play is called it's a 15-second play, through play. And then we have how many people made it to 25%, 50%, 75% completion of watching that video, all the way to 100%. If we look at the number of impressions, number of times that ad was served out, to the number of people who actually made it to 100%, watched it from start to finish, it's not very much. It's not very much. So what I'm trying to say to you with this is that video marketing isn't doing the job of trying to get somebody to watch the video from start to finish, have them fall in love with your business, run over to your website, go and throw money at you. No, it's not that kind. You're not in that kind of business. So what you're focusing on is trying to escalate. You're trying to capture that attention span. with your videos. That's all you're wanting to do, because of that, if I caught, I circulated those ads out, I caught 4,000 people in that video ad, and those views cost me fractions of a penny. And then when we get into the 10-second views, it starts to drop off. And then through plays is a 15-second play. That's the metric. Through plays. That's what Facebook is basically ranking your success on, is how many people can you get to the 15-second mark or more. Attention spans are so fickle. Getting people to the 15-second mark, it's hard. And so that's earning attention span. That attention span that you have earned, you get to retarget with ads. And guess what? It doesn't matter if you have a special ad category that applies to you or not, because once you've circulated those ads out there and you've paid money, you're getting your ads in front of the broad, very broad targeted audience that you want to make your first impression with. You've accumulated that attention span, and now you can start retargeting and remarketing ads to those people. And where that comes in handy is that it costs pennies to reach people. So your ad costs might be somewhere along the lines of anywhere from 1 cent a through play, a 15-second play, up to, I've seen, around 15 cents a through play. And you can retarget those people. Now, I want to let you know of a little trap, though. I'm giving you a cool strategy. It's like you can reach all these people, capture their attention span. Don't try to use your videos to make sales right away. You're just trying to grow your audience sizes, grow momentum, and then retarget people who have watched that video with additional high quality content to move them through your funnel. Managing those expectations that if you don't have a lot of budget, just focus on the attention span part of your funnel, not trying to make Facebook ads make sales for you. Let the rest of your marketing do all of that heavy lifting. But as much as I'm sitting here going, rah, 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 Facebook ads and video ads are so much less expensive, there's a trap that Facebook has been falling small businesses into. And I'm going to show you that trap in 1 minute. I'm just going to check out these comments and see what we got going on in here. And yeah, 5% watch all the way. And, and I really, really appreciate this. I'm sorry, but this is gold right here. Thank you. And thank you very much. I really appreciate that, Felicia. That is thanks to Restream, using all of their fancy functions in here. And I highly encourage you to check that out. In fact, if you want to go check that out, you wander on over to thedigitalgal.com/Restream. Go take a peek. All right, so let's talk about this little glitch, this little challenge that people fall into when doing video ads and getting those low cost views and thinking, yeah, my ads are working. I'm getting so many views. I'm building up and growing a huge audience of people who really care about my business, and a real indicator of interest by how many people are actually making it to 15 seconds. Guess what? Let me jump into a screen share here. I'm going to share this one right here. And let's dive into a screen share. All right, so Facebook has different ad placements, different places that you can put your, different places where you can put your ads. And with that, it's important to know that when you go to create your ads and you leave it on automatic placements, Facebook is going to take your video ad, and the objective that you're going to be asking for is video views. That's what we're trying to do here. When you go to create the ad, what do we want? We want video views. So we use the video view objective. Facebook is then going to go, okay, cool. You want us to go get you video views? Yeah, we got this. We've done this a million times. And they go out into their whole ads network of all the different placements that they could be sprinkling your video. And they go and put that video into the place where they think you're going to get the most views, because you're asking them, get people to watch 15 seconds or more of my video. Well, guess where they're putting it? They're putting it in the audience network. So what the heck is the audience network? And the reason I have this screen share up is because I wanted to show you an actual example, like an actual video example of what this looks like, not just hypothetically talking about it. So this is an example you're seeing on screen of an ad that's an interruptive ad that is playing while someone is playing a game. So this is an example right now. We're walking it through. They're playing a game. They're in the game right now. They're playing. And then at some point, they're going to get hit with an ad. And wait for it. Apparently, we're still playing the game. And Yeah, so now it comes up with a screen. It says watch video. If they want to continue, they have to watch a video. Now what they're seeing right now is a video ad that is happening. Now this is a great use if you're marketing apps and you want people who are playing games to also go and download your other game from the App Store. Great, and see how it has the the App Store info, and then it has an install now, but the user has to click a little X in the top corner to get out of that. And then now that they've watched the video, now they're rewarded with whatever thing they were trying to acquire and accomplish. So when it comes to that, oh, and you know what? While I'm doing the screen share, let me just show you the other one in here. Audience network reward video. The other one is in stream, Facebook in stream video. So this is an example. Let's walk through this. This is an example of you're scrolling through your news feed, you find a video that is interesting to you, and you're like, "Ooh, I want to watch that." And as you're watching that, it says ad starting in a few seconds, and the timer's counting down, and boom, now inside that video that you were watching that you're so into, now there's an ad that is playing inside. And it's several seconds of a video. Now you can skip that video if you want, or you're being forced to watch the whole thing. So these are forced video views. So this is capturing people where they have high attention. Let me grab that link for you. And let me head back over to there we go. Stop sharing because it's gumming up my system here. Into the chats. Let's see if I can drop this down into the chats here. Okay, so there's that link for you. What that is, that's Facebook's, by the way, that is a really handy tool that it's basically an ads guide, and you can use the drop down and see all the different types of ad placements based on different objectives that you want to use. So you can actually see get a real concept of what these ads are going to look like. It includes all the specs, all your video sizes, your video lengths, depending on placements, all that fun jazz. So that's quite a handy dandy little thing. So those video views are forced video views. So it's artificially inflating your numbers. So if you're getting 1 cent per video view and you're getting a results rate of like 95% of the impressions that are being shown are watching 15 seconds or more of your video, and you're like, wow, my ads are crushing it. No, they're not. They're just being put in the wrong placements automatically because that's what you asked Facebook for. You said, yeah, go ahead, Facebook, you decide where those ads are going to show up. Yeah, you know what? You decide how you're going to spend my budget. It's cool. So there you go. You invest a lot of dollars into producing. You stress yourself out as a small business owner trying to produce these really high quality videos that you're going to use in ads that you've strategized and worked so hard and scripted and recorded 35 million times because you kept flubbing, and then you're editing, and then you finally have this little thing you think is a perfect ad, and it's getting forced watches, and no one's actually watching to 100% completion anyway. So that's another tip. If you are actually doing any type of video ads, don't worry about the back end of that ad. You're not waiting to get to a punchline at any point in time or a big reveal. You're putting everything up front. Put all the jazz and wow in the first 3 seconds. You've got to hook those people. But that's what's going to help us grow an audience of people who have watched your video ads for any length of time. Now, by paying attention to that little hiccup of getting caught in the in-stream videos or getting caught in the audience network, those are forced video view plays. If you're not paying attention to those placements, it's going to artificially inflate your audiences with people who really aren't interested in your business. And then it doesn't really play into your strategy very well of actually retargeting people based on the amount of time that they've spent watching your videos and growing a more highly engaged audience of people based on the amount of time spent. So if I pop back over, I'm going to pull that graphic up again. This one, actually, no, let's pull this one right up here. So again, this is an example of growing an audience of people who have watched 10 seconds or more of the video. That's 21,000, or sorry, 3 seconds or more. I can retarget them. That's 21,000 people. And by the way, I have not been putting the personal work into my ads and audiences the same way that I do for my clients. I mean, all of us who work in ads have the same problem. I don't invest, I'm starting to do better, but I don't invest the same into my business as I do into everybody else's. But to manage expectations, you don't have to spend a ton of money, and you can grow those audience sizes to hundreds of thousands, like 500,000 people who have watched your videos, and then you can retarget those people with ads. Now, the key to this whole strategy that I'm talking about here, and keeping this is all on low cost. And by the way, the job this is doing, this is not trying to make you sales at all. This is just trying to get awareness and get engagement. These are the lower cost activities that keep attention span on Facebook or on the audience network, wherever they are, wherever, keeping people in the element of where they are, and not asking them to leave Facebook to go and click off to your website or to go and purchase a widget or an item. It's keeping people on Facebook. It's more cheap and cheerful. It's less expensive, but it's not going to make you sales. But it is going to get people into your sphere of influence, which is also important. So by using that strategy of acquiring that attention span, not focusing too hard on trying to nail the message in your ads, but using video ads. If you're not using video ads at all, this strategy is dead to you. So that means you have to rely on people engaging with your ads, which means liking, clicking, commenting, sharing to increase the engagement, to be able to use a similar strategy that's low cost. But if you just have static images you're experimenting with, they're not as engaging, right? So there's a balance. There's an experimentation. Just don't go too crazy at trying to spend a ton of money and hope that you're going to get the sales. Start relatively small within the budget you have to work with. So if you don't have $5,000 a month to spend to try and convert people to spend $1,500 on your course, then trying to spend it on Facebook ads to make those sales might not be the best route for you. And I'm not saying don't go spend that money on Facebook ads. Facebook ads are still one of the lowest cost platforms out there that you can be running ads on, compared to, say, LinkedIn. Super expensive, really good job title targeting, and really effective, but they're super expensive. Or Twitter ads, or Google ads. Google ads are phenomenal. They really honestly are phenomenal. Google ads are like the Goliath of, like, yeah, we're going to get you people who actually care about your brand and actually want to click on your content and actually want to buy from you. But they actually come with a high cost as well. So Facebook ads really are the safe, pay to play space that small businesses still need to operate in. We all still need to compete in here, but we need to realign our expectations and not try and go after sales when we can actually use Facebook very effectively as a tool to acquire that attention span at the top of the funnel, you can say. Acquire an audience of people, increase your digital footprint, and continue to retarget and remarket, serve additional ads over and over and over time to all of these people. What I have seen professionally over the years is that this strategy is a really good foundational building block for long-term success. This is not a quick hit. This is not, I'm just going to run ads this 1 month and, see if it works for me, and then shut it down and walk away and forget it. And then say, oh, you know what, Facebook ads didn't work for me. This is not a good strategy for that. What I have seen, though, is by implementing this strategy with several clients over several years, the quality of their audiences increase, because the people who are continuing to get your videos, to get your information, to get hit with your ads online over and over and over again, based on the attention span, how long they're watching those videos, how engaged they are, by continuing to show up in front of the people who care about you and stop spending marketing dollars on the people who don't, then over time, your audience sizes continue to grow and the quality of those audiences increase significantly, so that you can spend less on your ads and have way more impact over time. But it takes time to grow. Let me pop into the comments here, check out the comments, and then I'm going to show you some additional little stuff. Yes, honestly, it really is. It is intimidating at the start when you're first starting your ads journey, or if you're just as a small business owner, when you're trying to get the momentum rolling, it's hard to know where to start. So my recommendation absolutely is, if you were trying to get started, video ads are going to be such a key for you. And you don't have to go with high production value. Most of us have a cell phone. These count. Another part of that strategy that I do highly recommend is use your Facebook page organically. I know everyone's going to say organic is dead. Use that Facebook page organically, and start your experimenting and getting your comfort level up with video happening on your page. So just getting in the habit of making video content, putting video content out on Facebook. And when I'm saying Facebook, by the way, I do need to check myself on this. I subconsciously just lean to Facebook because it's the Facebook's ads manager where we're building all these ads, but it's Facebook and Instagram. So it's on both. So where we're doing all these ads and circulating these videos and acquiring the attention span and retargeting, it's attention from both Facebook and Instagram. It's both. So these are your lower cost pay to play platforms that still make a lot of sense for a small business. So experiment on your own personal Facebook page, your business page. Experiment on your business page first with video content and get your comfort level up. But the cool thing is when you have video content that starts to perform well organically, you go and grab that. You go and add some ad dollars behind that. You go and promote that. Leverage that momentum. We're playing a game against the algorithm. And guess what? It's not a fair fight because the algorithm changes constantly. But the cool thing is, what has stayed consistent is that video ads are by far one of the lower cost options to reach your target audience, to keep them paying attention to your brand, to get them engaging with you, and to give you an audience, a digital footprint of people that you can retarget with ads and on an ongoing basis and increase the quality of your audiences so that when it does get to the point where eventually down the road you do have a lot of dollars that you can start investing into higher level ads to try and get those conversions, you already have a warm audience of people ready to go. In fact, let me show you. We have when we talk about audiences, there are cold audiences, warm, the way that I like to break it down, cold audiences, warm audiences, and hot audiences. Now, they are hot. They are hot to buy. They want to buy from you. They know you. They know your brand. You've hit all the pain points. They're raving fans, whatever. These are the folks that are ready to buy. These are also the most expensive people to reach. And it's going to cost you money to get their attention span off of Facebook or Instagram onto your content and handing money over to you. So your hot audiences, take good care of them. They are important, but they're generally very small. And you've had to spend money over time to reach them over and over and over again, increase their familiarity and get them to the point where those are your people. Those are your people who are ready to buy. But before we can have a hot audience, we need to grow an audience of a warm audience of people who have some kind of understanding and knowledge of who we are, and then attract and keep talking to the people who actually do care, who your product or your service actually is the right fit for. And that's where video ads are so effective at serving video ads to your cold audience of people who don't know you. Use video ads at the top of the funnel, hook them, increase the audience by serving those video ads to that cold audience. You're actually increasing your warm audience. You're building up your warm audience over time. And over time, that warm audience gets hotter and hotter. So it's a lower cost, it's a slow grow. It's a slow growth strategy. It takes time, and it's not something that you should be trying to do right away. But it's something to keep in mind. All right, so now we're getting into some of the fun stuff. So that's sort of the overall overarching strategy to kind of battle some of those issues that we're having, where we're starting to lose visibility with Apple's iOS 14 update. We're losing visibility from Facebook ads traffic when we send the traffic off to websites. Therefore, our ads are going to appear more expensive, and we're also competing with a lot of shifting changes in not being able to see the reporting as quickly. So we're not going to be able to react as quickly. So therefore, there's a lot going on when it comes to spending money to get the traffic off of Facebook and onto your website. A lot of complications going on there right now. So why don't we keep that attention span on Facebook? Use video ads. Is going to be a really good way to do it. The competition that you're running into especially with our global circumstances, a lot of businesses have been forced to operate online that never had to in the past. Our ads system is flooded now with people also competing for the same attention span that you're going after. And then if you are under one of those special ad categories, if you're in real estate, for example, you have to use the special ad category when creating your ads. That strips out a lot of your targeting options at the top of funnel. And that's why using video ads to acquire that attention span gives us an audience of people we can retarget to and reach over and over and over again without having to spend money reaching a ton of people who don't know you. We can continue working on building up the familiarity with the people who are getting to know you. So that is important. So that's kind of the overarching strategy. If you do have questions on that strategy, you can drop some comments in here. You can also follow up with me. Again, you can find me pretty much everywhere on the web. Don't worry, guys. Don't go anywhere. We are not done yet. You can find me everywhere, hanging out on the web at The Digital Gal. So we got 2 things that I'm going to give away. One I'm giving, or several things. I'm about to give some stuff away here on the show. But and I'm going to give something away next week. But before I do that, again, I wanted to give a giant, big heart shout out to Restream, who I am using to stream this lovely video marketing show to you with right now. Restream, I'm streaming to Facebook, I'm streaming to YouTube, I'm streaming into my Facebook groups, all using Restream. And this has been a fantastic tool, super easy to use. A lot easier. It's so much easier to use than how cool this looks. Trust me. And then what I want to be giving away is that if you have been commenting on this broadcast, if you've been creeping, if you've been watching and you haven't been commenting, now's your chance. You can just throw in win, throw in hi, throw in whatever you want into the comments. If you're here and you are watching this broadcast and you want a chance to win a free ticket to Unite 2021, that is an event that's happening next week. It's a 24-hour digital marketing event. I'm also speaking at that event. I will be dropping more Facebook ads knowledge on that event. Then if you want free tickets to that, then just drop a comment anywhere on any of these streams that you're seeing, and five of you are going to be winning. So what I'll do is I will get help picking those winners, and then I'm going to be asking for your email address at a later date so I can pass that on to Unite to give you those tickets. The other thing I wanted to give a shout out to is we have next week, there's also the Agorapulse Instagram Summit. So I know I'm like blabbing on here about Facebook ads and this and that, but like I mentioned, it's Facebook and Instagram is where all of the leveraged power is coming from, acquiring this attention span, using these video marketing tactics. So if you want to know more on how to actually implement some of these tactics on the Instagram side of things, on how you can be creating ads and implementing ads using Facebook's Ads Manager, not just the promote post button on Instagram, but going deeper, then you're definitely going to want to check out the Instagram, the Agorapulse's Social Pulse Summit, the Instagram edition. That's also happening next week. So you're going to want to check that out. And again, last reminder, because I really like giving stuff away, I'm going to be giving one of these away, a portal, next week. And how are you going to win that? You are going to go on over to thedigitalgal.com/contest. You're going to drop in your email. What that's going to do is sign you up. It's going to be signing you up for a chance to win the portal, but it's also going to be signing you up so that you can get the emails to know when these shows are going live. So there's lots of exciting things happening. Give me 1 second. I'm going to throw this just as a reminder. And here we go. Excellent, excellent. And with that, I definitely want you to make sure that you are signed up to get the email notifications of when these things happen. Look at that comments coming in. Oh my gosh, I just like took 2 seconds to like go and do all that stuff and come back here and I see everybody popping in. Everybody who's watching this, you guys are fabulous. I appreciate everyone who's been popping in. Look at everyone who's commenting in here. Norbert, my goodness, thank you so much. I appreciate that you're here. And Abby, thank you. This is fantastic. And I really, really appreciate everyone who's popped in here. All right, so lots of things that we're giving away. So I'm going to follow up. I'll be picking some winners for the Unite tickets. And if you're entering in to win that Facebook portal, I'm giving that away next week. And that's implying that, guess what? This stuff's happening weekly. So you're going to see my lovely face back here on all the socials teaching you more about video marketing so that you can level up your marketing from a small business perspective without having to spend a ton of money or get super fancy or go high production value. But speaking of high production value, I'm going to be wrapping this up here. And with that, I just want to say, everybody, thank you very, very much. I'm going to see you here next week, same time, same place. I am Amanda Robinson. I am the Digital Gal, and I love helping you with your Facebook ads and anything geek out worthy related to making it easier for you with small business. And with I hope you have a phenomenal day, a phenomenal weekend. I'll see you next week, everybody.